Did a video about Sleeping Beauty and involved, medieval etiquette and feudal politics, touching on the subject of guest right when it comes to the opening scene. However, with no background information other than that which is provided by the Disney film, I'm going to try and piece together what is the political climate of this kingdom. And we know that there are two kings mentioned in this story. King Stefan, who is the father of Aurora, and King Hubert, who is the father of Philip. Now, we know that this story is either German or French in origin. I'm leaning into the German side because of the presence of two kings in one land. This makes me believe they are two kings that exist within the Holy Roman Empire. I can also assume, by the presence of there being fairies at their court, that both kings are guilty of some form of heresy. We know that the fairies have their own internal politic, namely that of the three good fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather, and the evil Maleficent, who, maybe not be a fairy, but definitely has some fae stuff going on. Maleficent's realm is called the Forbidden Mountains, which means that it doesn't matter whether she or other characters name them that, there has been a territorial dispute. Given that the land is mountainous, I'm going to assume it's over mining rights. We know that particularly King Stefan is close with the fairy faction. We know that the fairy Merryweather is able to make people sleep en masse, thus we can conclude that she can alter brain chemistry and has other psionic abilities. This makes me believe that Merryweather has altered the brain chemistry of the Emperor, or the Pope, making them forget King Stefan's heresy, given that Stefan has not been deposed and or excommunicated. So Stefan would technically owe his kingdom to the fairies, which explains their presence at his court. Definitely a high place at court because he chooses to foster his only daughter with them later on. It definitely seems like the fairies need something from Stefan. But where does Maleficent stand in all of this? We know that she is respected as a ruler in her own right, and she sees the other fairy faction as beneath her, like how the Yorks saw the Woodvilles. She calls them the rabble, the upstarts. This makes me believe that these fairies have their eyes on Maleficent's land, because it's not revealed what happens to the lands at the end of the story. This is the medieval period. You think that the nobility are just going to let the land sit there uncultivated? However, Maleficent also has a large army as well as reserves of magic. Fairies have magic, but they don't have an army. So what do? The old medieval tradition of getting an army. Marriage. King Hubert's son Philip and King Stefan's daughter Aurora marry. That is a coalition force. However, betrothals cannot be achieved during this period until the legal age, which is about 16. Maleficent knows this. When does she predict Aurora's death? 16. It is not random. Maleficent is clever. With Aurora dead, there is no marriage, there is no alliance. And Stefan is not young at the start of the story, and then 16 years go by. Maleficent just needs to wait, and Stefan's line ends. When Stefan dies, the other fairy faction lose their powerful royal ally. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.